Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Daddy's Garage. Sorry for being just a smidge late, but I had to go grab my ever popular cup of coffee. Can't have cars and coffee without coffee. So I was trying to get it back in here and I was just a little bit late on getting started, but that's okay. I see we already have people here waiting, anticipating whatever we may talk about today. and who knows? Who knows? This primarily is about cars and coffee, or cars, right? Classic cars, as we mentioned before, Mustangs, Camaros, Chevelles, Impalas, Falcons, Mopars, whatever. Doesn't really matter. We just, like to talk about this stuff. And, generally we encourage people to ask questions. If you have a question about your car, ask it. Give you a bell if you ask a good question. Also, give you a bell if you give a good answer. Not like there's any kind of other prizes available, but if you'll notice, I always point the wrong way. The group over there that tends to be here in these chats also participate in the questions and answers. And we always seem to have a good turnout. I'm glad everybody still comes to these. I know Thursdays it's a little bit slower, let's say, maybe not quite as many people. 3 in the afternoon is a little rough for a lot of people in the US, but I do this primarily for people, overseas in Europe and stuff like that, so they can participate as well. So welcome to all of you. Glad you're here, and I'm glad you made it to 2022. I did my live stream on Monday, which was the first one of the year, and we'll just continue doing this. See how long we can keep this ball rolling, right? Anyway, let's see who's here right off the bat. Is Terry Keithley. Afternoon, Barry, and all beautiful. 5 above with wind chill 10 below here in West Central Illinois. Okay, that's pretty cold. That's pretty cold. Let me just tell you, just to give you some information, that I was just checking this earlier. Right now, it says it's 61 degrees here. Now we had a high, we got up to 63, and it says a low of 33. And for the rest of the day, starting at about maybe 4 o'clock, it's supposed to rain off and on. And then the temperatures tomorrow, low of 33, high of 60, or no, sorry, low of 25, high of 41, 27 on Saturday, high of 51. So we're right at the low, mid 20s to low 30s for an overnight lows, and anywhere from 40 to 60 in the highs. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm not jealous of 5 above with a wind chill of 10 below. Not jealous. Bob Knoll. Good afternoon, Bear. How are you doing today, sir? I am fine. I think I'm doing just fine. I hope so. I hope you are as well. And Bob says, well, it's 19 degrees in Detroit, and we're taking our side glass out of the doors today. Could not have done it without your video, like all the other ones I watched. You're a smart man. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad you're able to get the windows out. Those can be overwhelming in a sense. You look at all the mechanical stuff in there, and you're like, how did they engineer this? I always wonder about how they engineered certain things. And I was intimidated by them until I talked to Harvey, Rally Cat Garage, and he gave me some information, and I was like, well, I can run with that. And that's what I did. So making the video obviously has helped you. So I'm glad. Raleigh Pacheco. It's a warm 53 in Hampton, Virginia. That is pretty warm for Virginia, I would say. Troy, good afternoon. 64 beautiful degrees today in coastal Georgia. Yeah, 64. It hit 63 here and then started to drop. So, which isn't unusual. Bob, all that warm weather sounds good. So good. Tell me it's sunshiny out. Well, it's overcast now. It's getting ready to rain on us. The sun was out, had some nice sunny weather, was looking good, but apparently they're calling for rain through the night. So hopefully it's not too heavy. We had some pretty heavy rainstorms come through this past week, and the ground is still, struggling with absorbing all that. Ray Buckman, good afternoon, everyone. 17 degrees today, best of 60 tomorrow. Odd winter. Yes. Yeah, it is. I was looking at some, flashback pictures that I have on Google saves my photos and stuff. And there were this time last year, it was really cold on this particular day, and like the year before, it was warm. So it's really just kind of all over the place, all over the place. Okay, Ray. Odd. Oh, wait a minute. Near odd winter. I don't know. I don't know what you got there, Ray. Robert, 35 degrees here in Texas, near 70 on Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, it's all over the place. It is all over the place. Crash Rider, good afternoon from cold and snow covered southern Indiana. I have my recipe book handy just in case food should be discussed. We may talk about some food because my wife made something that I want to mention, and it was really good. Ray, was it way to be prepared, Crash Rider? Okay, Tony. Hi, everyone, from warm and wet Brisbane, Australia. Well, welcome, Tony. I am glad you're here. Troy, Bob Knoll, it's full sun today. Yeah, it was. Maybe it's on the coast, but now it's overcast here. Ron, hey, Barry, checking in from the Tri-Cities in Northeast Tennessee. Glad you're here, Ron. Rusty's Mustang Garage. Afternoon, all. Glad you're here. Bob. Oh, that's awesome. Glad to hear that somebody got to have a nice day. A nice day. Good for you guys. Yeah. Yeah. I'll take the nice days. Mason, wanted to ask you, JJ's Garage, with your 65 Mustang, do you ever have to put anything in the carburetor so it starts in the winter? No. No, not with anything. I haven't had to add really anything to, like a ether or anything like that to any of my vehicles. But it doesn't get that cold here. It just doesn't get that cold. So we generally don't have that issue. We might do that for some, pressure washer or weed eater, or a lawnmower or something. It's got some bad gas in it, but generally, no, don't have to deal with that here. So good question, though. Mason, if so, what do you put in a 65 Mustang carburetor? So, well, if I were to use anything, it would be ether, we would call it ether. I guess they have now some sort of, they may call it a different name. Growing up, we called it ether. It may be I don't know, some other name for the stuff they call it now. Mason says it's negative 6 degrees here in Iowa. That's pretty cold, but it is Iowa, so I guess that's to be expected. Boogie Bum, hello all from a very snowy Nashville. It's funny you mentioned snow. Apparently it snowed in Alabama. I'm guessing in North Alabama. I have some friends who live there, and they shared some pictures where they were outside playing in the snow in Alabama, which is just kind of weird. Just kind of weird. CSL, RC Lauren. Good afternoon, Joe. Glad you're here. Rusty, talking to Bob and Mason, you should do a tour of your shop sometime. Yeah, I kind of have done stuff like that, maybe inadvertently, maybe not intentional, because if you see me making my videos, sometimes I walk around and I talk about stuff going on or in the shop, or go from one section to another, and you kind of see kind of what's here. But that's not a bad idea. I may have to do another round of cleanup. Everybody everywhere. Let's see. Dawn, hello everyone from Soggy PDX. After record snow for a week, it is now 50 degrees, buckets of rain, and flooding. Oh, wow. That doesn't sound good at all. Terry, how's Iron Man doing today? I do believe I see him. Yeah, he's doing good. He's a little more obvious today. It was a little harder to find Monday, but he's obvious today. Dawn, hi, Barry from Jeanette, Pennsylvania. We're supposed to get 3 to 6 tonight. Yep. Yeah, like I said, so my friend shared some photos where it snowed in Alabama. I think they live up. What is that? I can't think of what it is. The museum or whatever for the Space and Science Center. I want to say Huntsville, but I don't think it's Huntsville. But anyway, it's northern Alabama. I think he lives up in that area where they have the space. I think they have a space shuttle display and all that sort of thing. Mason wanted to ask you, have a Texaco gas station sign, don't you? Yes, I do have a Texaco gas station. The big round one. Used to light them up. Yeah, I have one on the back wall. I wouldn't mind finding some others like that. I like that. I got it. I got the thing. Some woman was selling it on a yard sale for like $15. And I would like to find some more of those, maybe some different brands, but have that circular design, just a pattern up the wall. Kenneth Torziani, how's that? Torziani, is that good? Hello from Saratoga, New York. I have a 66 Mustang. It looks like yours, and a 53 F100 351 Resto mod. Love your videos. Well, thank you for that. I like the Resto mod. 53. I like those trucks. I like those trucks a lot. Very cool looking. In fact, there's one, I think Chip Foose did one. He has one that was his dad's truck, and I think it was a 53, and he redid it. Like, he sectioned some things and changed the shape a little. Really sharp truck. Mason, we got a Texaco gas station sign. It's hanging up in my room. Okay, that's cool. Charlie Seidelman, checking in from Eastern PA. 3 to 6 inches tonight. Yep. I don't need any snow. No snow. Ricard, checking in from Sweden. Glad you're here, Ricard. Hope all is well with you. Robert, it snowed in Alabama January of last year. I was driving through it. Yeah, that's true. Yep. You had a fun road trip going back. Dawn, I like the TNN banner. I remember that. Yeah, that's a pretty popular banner for some reason. TNN, long since out of existence. That banner appeared in my garage probably, gosh, had to be mid-late 90s, I think. And never really thought much about it. But I've had several people comment about that banner. And yeah, it's it's going to stay up there on the wall. Lupe Terreros. I have a 70 Mustang Coupe doing the quarter window. Is there any special way to know you have them set right, putting them back in? On a 70 Coupe, I have not messed with a 70 Coupe quarter glass. I will say I have messed with it with a 68. I assume they're very similar as far as the function and design and adjustments. If you go back and look at the videos on this car when I put in the door glass and I showed how to adjust the quarter window, so you can index them in and out, kind of tilt them. There's a lot of movement available on the quarter glass, and I assume that 70 is the same thing. Good question. Mason, do you remember the gas station sign of the dinosaur? Yeah, I remember the sign. I don't know, was it Dino? I guess it was Dino Gas. I think it's what it was called. Dawn and the Rusty Wallace car. I don't think I have a Rusty Wallace. I have the AC Delco car up there on the wall. That AC Delco car. I don't think I have a Rusty Wallace, and I also have a Home Depot. One of their little hoods they had with the bear on it. Home Depot Coca-Cola with Tony Stewart. I have one of those up in the rafters, but I don't think I had a Rusty Wallace. I don't think so. Kenneth, you can see them at Low Boost Films. Check us out. Oh, okay. Is that your YouTube channel, Low Boost Films? I guess that's what that means. If so, that's fine. That'll be cool. Lupe Terreros. That's a singular sign misspell. What did I miss there? I don't know what that's implying, but sorry. Rick Stevenson. Good afternoon, everyone. Lupe says thanks. And Mike, the dinosaur is Sinclair. That is true. I don't know, my mind was saying Dino, but Sinclair is the correct answer, Mike. Good answer. Dawn, Sinclair, yeah, thought that the AC Delco was rusty. No, that's yeah, you see the 2 would make you think it's a rusty, right? But it's not. That was the Bush series car, I believe. And I can't remember the guy's name. And again, that was something I picked up at a yard sale. Pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. Charlie, need an opinion on the best way to proceed. Subframe for my Camaro was sandblasted, mounts repaired, and then I applied an epoxy primer and gloss black chassis paint from Eastwood. Okay. So what's the question? What's the question? Kenneth, it's my son's YouTube channel. Thanks. Okay. Well, Low Boost Films is what he's saying. So if anyone wants to check out Low Boost Films, I think it's what it said, right? Low Boost Films. Yeah, that's fine. Show it again. Low Boost Films. All right. In fact, there was another one I wanted to mention, another channel I wanted to mention. I can't think of the name right now. It's a friend of mine. He does a lot of stuff with 55 Chevys and stuff like that. And I'll have to let me see. I don't know if I can remember his what the name of it was. I'll have to do a quick. It was a pretty cool name. Let me search real quick. See if I can remember what is. Oh, the Gas House. The Gas House. So if you go check out, I guess it's the Gas House is the name of his channel, right? I haven't looked at it actually, but if you go there and you decide to take a look at it, just tell him I sent you. He knows I have a channel. Let me just see if it comes up. Yeah, the Gas House. He's got 2,000 subscribers, 2,500 subscribers, and in fact, this guy, he was the one that I got the 55 Chevy from that I had. We had done some trading, and I ended up with the 55 Chevy. So, if you want to check out, I'll just type that in here. Check out that. Oh, sorry, I messed it up. The Gas House, and like I said, he does a lot of stuff with 55 Chevy. You know the straight axle cars, gasser type stuff. He's really into that. He would be somebody who would have a lot of information about those type of modifications and stuff like that. Pretty cool guy. Pretty cool guy. Let's see. Oh, that was the dinosaur. Okay. He got it. I misspelled it. Okay. All right. We're good. We're good, Lupe. Mike. One just opened up near me. Dino is the Flintstones. That's a good point. Good point. Mason, do you have any Budweiser signs in your shop? No. Now, if I did have any of those signs, it would be Yingling, but I don't have any of those. Charlie, then I noticed how pitted it still appeared. What would be the best way to get it smooth? Sand off the gloss and feather fill and reapply primer and top coat. Okay, so you've got a subframe for Camaro that has a lot of pitting in it. That's a really tough one. That is a really tough one to deal with. You could, I mean, I've seen. Here, let me ask you this: what are you going to do with the car? Is probably the bigger question. Because I've seen people take, whether it's feather fill or slick sand or some products like that, or even body filler, and smooth out a frame and paint it, and it makes it look really, really nice. But a lot of those vehicles aren't going to be driven, like hitting turns, maybe drag raced or anything like that, because that stuff, it eventually is going to pop off, or I would think it would flake or something from abuse. But you could do that, and if it's just kind of a daily driver, that might work too. You know, that might work just for that. But I've seen people do that, and without knowing how bad it is or how bad the pits are, the alternative would be to get a whole nother subframe. Just saying, because now you're dealing with pitting that could weaken the metal. And if you cover it up, that doesn't help you. So just kind of think about it a little bit. Look at the condition overall. Because if you got, radius where the frame comes underneath the car and it kicks up for the front suspension, I don't know where the pitting is, but if it gets thin enough, that could cause a stress point that could fail. So just really look it over and see what you feel about it. Bob, on your vent window, did you replace the felt for the window track? If you did, where did you get it from? I did replace not for the, let's see, hold on a second. The felt for the window track. So I didn't replace anything below the glass line, like where the body line is, other than the rollers. I replaced the fuzzy, if that's what you're referring to, that goes on the trim panel for the quarter, where the seat sits. I did replace the fuzzy there, and then the rubber gasket on the outside. But I don't think I did anything with the quarter glass as far as the window, the track. Now on the front glass on the vent window, I did buy new felt pieces, rubber felt pieces, and replace those. The ones in the quarter were okay, so I left them alone, or the track type of thing. But I don't know if there's. Maybe I'm thinking. Maybe I'm on the wrong page here, because the only fuzzy or felt that I can think of is on the inside, because the window itself rides on the rollers. There's the two roller tracks. In the fuzzy, all I did was, if you're talking about the window and a quarter on the front, yeah, on your vent window. Sorry, you did say that. I did get that, and I got it, I believe, from NPD. I showed that in the rebuild video. I got all that stuff, I believe, from NPD. Sorry, I missed the first part there where you said vent window. I was reading in my mind, reading quarter. Mike, what is the pinball machine back behind you? Well, let me tell you. This will kind of be. I'll go to. I don't know if Shane's here or not, but we're going to call it a junkyard story, because it is. That pinball machine, or what's left of it. My dad used to go to auctions all the time. All the time. Every weekend, it seemed, he went to an auction sale. He might go to multiple during the day or Saturday or something. And he would come home with all sorts of stuff. Just random, who knows. I know one time he bought everything inside the house that had an auction sale. And me and a buddy had to take everything out of that house, just the two of us. And I mean, all the furniture, everything. Put it into the back of a dump truck, take it to a location, and unload it into a school bus, because my dad used to pack stuff into school buses. Kind of a pack rat thing. Anyway, that pinball machine, which depicts a football scene, it is, I believe, Gottlieb, Gottlieb is a company, I think, that makes that. All I could find whenever I was moving stuff around is the top part with the glass and the numbers and all that stuff. I don't know where the bottom half ended up, or if it even existed in anything we had. And so years ago, this was probably back in the 90s, I was home visiting my parents, and I saw that sitting in a school bus. I remember actually putting it there when I was a kid, and I was like, there's no reason for this to sit here. And I scooped it up, and I brought it home, and I wanted to. The plan was to wire it up somehow and just have it randomly light up, maybe rotate the numbers or something, but I'm not that good with the electronic stuff. So it's just there. And if you notice, up on top of that, right there, that is an Archie's lunchbox that I know I think my brother used it going to school. I used it going to school, and I've ended up with it. So anyhow, that's what those are. Good question, though, Mike. Good observation. But yeah, that's a pinball machine. Charlie, streetcar, but I'm picky. Yeah, look it over good, man. I mean, make sure it's strong enough to take on what you want to do with it. It's probably the most important thing. And then, go from there is whether you want to really smooth it out or not. Jeff, coupe to fastback conversion, would you do it? Yeah, that's on my list. That is actually on my list. I bought a car just for that purpose. I can't get to it just yet. Right now, in fact, I'm putting together the Honda Civic. I should have everything on it today, I think. The Honda Civic will be finished. Then it's going to come out of the paint booth. This car is going back into the paint booth. And hopefully the other car that's on the lift up here is going away soon. Because, that car needs to go away. I don't know what's taking so long, but hopefully that goes away soon. And then I'm going to do a real good cleanup in here. And the Camaro's coming in next. The 68 Camaro, the basket case. So I'm going to come in here and get done on that. And then the plan is to do the 67 coupe to fastback conversion. I have the car already. I think I've shared some pictures of it somewhere on here. Yeah. So there's the car. And it was a V8 car, automatic. This has disc brakes on it. I think they added those. They started to do like a California special mods to it. I'm not doing that. So the fiberglass pieces, in fact, those are already sold. But this car, and don't be fooled by the pictures. Don't be fooled by the pictures. This car has some weird rust in it, and to me makes a great candidate for the conversion. It is not. These pictures don't tell you the real condition of that car. So, but yeah, that is on my list. Good question. Hopefully that'll be coming early this year, not next year, early this year. I still have to get all the sheet metal. So that's going to be the conflict. That's why I'm starting on a Camaro so that I can get the Camaro rolling. And the plan is just to sell the Camaro after I get all the sheet metal fixed up on it, make it a solid car, and then it's going to go to somebody else and let them finish it. Same way with the Mustang. I'm going to get it in here, do all the conversion stuff on it, sheet metal work. I don't plan to do at this point, I don't plan to do anything else to it but sheet metal work. And then it's going to go. And then I have other cars ready to come in. Terry, do you remember Iron City wait a minute, Iron City beer? And I don't remember Burger. Never heard of that one, but Iron City, yeah. Yeah, Iron City, definitely. But I'm not familiar with Burger. Wolfthorn, are you still working on the Brooklyn? Haven't seen anything on it lately. Happy Thursday. No, I'm not. No, I'm done with that car. It's gonna be moving on to another builder. Yeah, I'm done working on it. Too hard to explain, but I'm not working on the car anymore. Riley, did you cover the seats on Jade or have them done? Depending on whose videos I watch, either it is really easy or way too difficult for a beginner. I did not. The seats that were in this car, the previous guy, he had recovered them, so I'm not doing anything with them. They're fine. I have recovered seats before, and it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle because if you use a new foam and all that stuff, there's tricks to doing it. I can tell you that it was tough on me me and my business partner at the time on our hands, just trying to pull and tuck and push and crimp, and it was tough. It can be done though. I mean, it just know it'll be a struggle in most aspects, but it should go together. Jeff, cool. Look forward to both Camaro and the conversion. Yes. Ed, if the car on the lift does not go away soon, we may need Brooklyn Pony story time. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's got to go. It's got to go. Bob, late to the show, was leaving comment on Honda Facebook post and jumped over to here. Okay. Yeah, the Honda, it's looking pretty good. There's only one thing that well, there's always going to be something that bothers me on these kind of type of builds. But the one thing I need to address somehow, and you don't want to, sometimes you have to just do things. On this particular car, it had pinstripes put on by Honda. So the choices are I remove all the pinstripes and not have any pinstripes, or I buy a roll of pinstripe just to do the right front fender. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that yet. I have the tool. There's a somewhere around here. It's like a rubberized type of material that you put on a drill, and you rotate it. I don't know where I have it, and you can peel off old pinstripes. So the choices are either I remove all the pinstripes, or I go back and I find the matching width pinstripe kit and just do that front fender. And the thing is, when you do the fender, it's not just because pinstripes. I don't know if you ever who else put on pinstripes. Generally, it comes with the stripes, whatever width they are, and they have a plastic material that holds them at a certain distance apart, let's say, and you can lay them out, and then you peel off the plastic, and the stripes are good. Well, the problem with it is on the fenders, you generally, what you do, and I'm kind of hard to visualize this, but you take the bottom stripe, keep it flat, and you take the top one and you kind of snake it down, make a point. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. Or I just don't ignore it and don't put any stripe on it at all. But I like to have it either one, look like it was, or two, remove everything and keep moving on. Karsten, good evening, Barry from Denmark, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Karsten. Glad you're here. Let's see. Kenneth, do you have a site you use to buy and see used parts? I do not. I'm sure there's somebody out there who has, I think, what is it? Classic Cougar guys. I think they have a lot of used parts type of things. And I think they have an inventory that they keep up with, I think. But I don't know of anybody else in particular. Bob, some use a trash bag to help on the seat covers. I've heard that, where they'll cover the foam with a trash bag and then slide the cover over the trash bag. And that makes perfect sense. I guess the thought is, do you leave the trash bag or do you try to pull it out as well? I don't think it would make much difference, but it's just a thought. If you were going to be doing that, would you leave the trash bag or try to rip it out in pieces or something? I don't know. But here we have to, since it was brought up early on. Monday night we were talking about food and all kinds of stuff, and Terry had mentioned that he's got his recipe book ready to go. Well, let me tell you, I mentioned in a video that I did on my Patreon that I went to pick up a friend of mine. I went to not pick up my friend. My friend of mine shot a deer for us. They hunt all the time, and they asked us this year if we wanted a deer, and we had to pay for the processing. We're like, sure. So they shot us a doe, and we got the deer. Well, you get deer mixed up with, you could have it in sausage or the loins and burger or whatever. So we had gotten these sausage packs, and my wife decided she was going to make something. Now, this is probably not that uncommon, but she cooked up, I don't know if it was a pound or 2 pounds of deer sausage, the cubed hash brown potatoes, that, and some, she makes this potato deal where she puts the hash brown potatoes and I think cheese on top, and then like cornflakes on top of that. Was basically that's what she did, but she put the sausage in with it. Let me tell you, that was some good stuff. Perfect meal. All right, now you know. Robert, slip film is made for putting seat covers on, and you leave the seat area piece in there. Okay. Slip film. Now, I've not heard of slip film, so Thank you, Robert. That is a new term I have not seen, so keep that in mind. Wolfthorn, West Coast Classic Cougar. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. I said Classic Cougar, but it's West Coast Classic Cougar has used parts. So you can contact them and see if they have anything you may need. And Karsten, Kentucky Mustang, has some used parts in stock. Okay. I did not know that either. Thank you, Karsten. Good information. Marshall, did a sea cover years ago, a real PETA. Helps to get good hog ring pliers and was just doing suggest doing when you have warm weather, leave the car out in the sun for a while and it will relax some. And if you can have somebody help you. Just saying. You start pulling that stuff together and it helps to have somebody else pulling for you while you're putting hog rings in. Crash lighter problem with removing tape pinstripe. It will leave outline of old tape stripe due to fading. That's a good point. I guess I'll just have to see where I can get some pinstripe stuff. Because I haven't looked at all for pinstripe material. We had the body shop. We had a box just full of pinstripe material. Because you might just do a section of a car, one piece. You save that whole roll for the next one that comes in. So I guess I'll have to look for pinstripe stuff. Wolfthorn, West Coast Classic Cougar has a bunch of used parts located in Oregon. Okay. Rick Stevenson, I can smell the sausage cooking. Yeah, it was so good, man. It was so good. Troy, the plastic makes it easier to get the seat covers on. You normally pull it out when they're on. I used to help my mom do upholstery in my younger years. Okay. Awesome. Roberts, I remember the parts stores and Kmart had a huge selection of pinstripe, every width and color combination, and the pre-stamped points. See, I guess I never really looked for that stuff. I mean, I know they used to have like a generic automotive section at Kmart and Walmart. I think when did they even pinstripe cars anymore? Like, I don't even notice it anymore. In the 70s, 80s, 90s, that was a really big thing. 2000s, I don't even know. I can't tell you when I even noticed pinstripes on a car. I think it was, Ford. I think it was the Crown Vics and stuff. They used to actually be. I think they were painted on. And that's something. Now let me open this up because I just thought of that. Here's another option I didn't think about. I have one of these things. This is an expensive tool that I bought because I was at a car show, and it's one of those where it's I need that, and I bought it. I just remembered I have this pinstriping tool, Bugler, since 1934. You ever seen one of these? Bugler pinstripe kit tool, dooflicky. I saw them using this at a demonstration at a car show one time, and so I bought the thing. If you look, this is I've tried to use it like once or twice, and I realized that in a professional's hand, it looks a lot different than in my hand. And basically, the way this works, you have this canister. It's got this plunger on the backside here. And I don't remember exactly the instructions, but I know you're supposed to fill this up with paint, put this cap on the end of it, and there's a roller right here. And this one's frozen because I haven't used it. But there's a little roller, and what it does is, if you look at this one, it comes with these different heads. It has this little roller right here. It looks like a little serrated edge on it, and it pulls paint from the canister into the roller, and you ride it onto the car. It also has these little rods This is a really cool kit. I mean, I was dumbfounded when I saw the guy using it. Has these little rods that you put in, and I don't have it put together right, but basically you take and you can use this as a guide to get your uh, stripe straight. And I think, if I remember, there was a way you could use a long magnet, lay out the magnet, set this on the magnet, and just walk this back and put pinstripes on your car. Of course, I tried it a couple times, realized that I'm not the professional that the guy using it, was much better at it than I was. So I have this really nice pinstripe tool that I've only used a couple of times. Who's been there? Who's done that? I think we all have. And I realize now this one's stuck. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's working slowly. Anyway, not that I plan to paint pinstripes on, but I could. Dave is here. Hello. I hate when work gets in the way of the show. I'll give you a bell, Dave, because we haven't had a Dave this year yet. I don't think you've been. I don't know if you're here on Monday. Phil, hi Barry. Let's have a great 2022. I agree 100%. Yes. Terry, is there enough handling parts for the 77 to 79 XR7s? Oh, is there anyone handling parts for the 77 to 79 XR7s? I don't know. Anybody out there have any answers for Terry? Robert, there's some dealers here that had put pinstripes on some cars as they can pad the price with it, like tinted windows, etc. Yeah. Yep. Rick, my 68 Mustang had pinstripes from the factory. Really? I'm pretty confident those were painted on. Were they? And you say, was it factory or was it put on at the dealership before it was bought? Because that's usually a dealer add-on. Usually, just because it's hard to, in my way I look at it, if you had a certain color of a car and somebody wanted to pick the color for the pinstripe, it was kind of like a aha moment. I could pinstripe it whatever color I want. Whereas if you get it from the factory out of the plant, then they're picking the color for you. So I don't know, but let me know if it was actually a dealer item or not. Kenneth, I covered the bench seat on the F100 with covers and pad from LMC truck, wound up ripping at the seam. LMC is great and sent me new covers. Had to use thinner padding and came out perfect. Well, that's a good thing. I'm glad they were nice about it because they definitely didn't have to be. We all know how that is. Let's see if I can put this thing back in here. Yeah. Anyway, I've got this bugler kit. Your eyes get big when you're at a car show, and it's like, ooh, I could do that. I could do that. I know this guy only has 10 minutes of training. I know I could do it. Robert, my dad worked for a sign painter as a kid in Detroit, and the dealers would set aside a bunch of cars for him to paint. He was one of those who could walk down the car with a brush and make it perfect. Yeah, those guys are just amazing. I don't know how anybody can be that steady. We've had one guy who was a professional pinstriper. I want to say his name was Mike Malloy. I think it was Mike Malloy. He's actually had done demonstrations at like World of Wheels and stuff that he would pinstripe and people would buy his work or whatever. And he drove a little S10 pickup with a bunch of stuff in the back of it. And he would show up and, hey, we need these stripes done. He would take him about 30 minutes and he would have everything done. It was really cool. Really cool. Bob, 3M had a sizing chart that we used to identify the size combinations. Yeah, that's another thing is the pinstripes could come in so many different variable widths. Robert, magnet had a groove in it for the pin to slide in. Yep. I don't know if I have the magnet. I was as I was looking at this, I thought I had bought the magnet and everything, but I don't see it. So I'm going to guess no. Dawn, my 85 GT had dealer done pinstripes. Okay. Yep. Rally, my 97 HD Road King has factory painted on pinstripes under the clear coat. Yeah. That's a nice thing. When they do that, that's a really cool thing. When they embed it under, or embed it in the clear coat. That's so much nicer. Rick says, yes, painted on. It was on at the factory. Color matched the interior. I worked at the dealership at the time. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I can't picture, and not that I've, okay, so my timeline bracket of cars, while my dad had plenty of stuff in the junkyard and all that stuff, I can't picture many cars that we had in the junkyard that had pinstripes, first off. And then my mind does not register any classic Mustang that I've ever seen with pinstripes. However, I would venture to say that everything I've ever seen has been redone. Like repainted, repaired, whatever. And when they redid it, they may have said, yeah, don't worry about the pinstripes. So it may have been an option, for on certain cars had gotten it. But again, I've never, that I can picture in my mind, I've never seen a Mustang with pinstripes on it. So that's pretty cool that you were able to, that you have evidence of that. That's cool. Crash Rider Amazon has all kinds of automotive stripe tape, less than $15 a roll. Okay. Well, I guess I'll be ordering some stripe kit and finish out the quarter. The only other thing, which I'm not worried about it, is when Honda does it, they actually have their Honda logo. So the pinstripe will end, and then down in the corner, it'll have just a little H Honda symbol. There's no way I'm going to buy a correct Honda pinstripe kit because I don't care. I'll just do the two thin lines and be done with it. But the cars come together. The other thing that I can't use or will not put on was there was a little rubber chin spoiler type of thing that went underneath the bumper cover. I was going to put that on and I realized there were two center tabs that locked in towards the middle of the bumper. And at some point somebody hit a curb or whatever, and it broke the plastic out of that. So if I put it on, it's just going to kind of flutter down. So not going to worry about it. I don't think it did much anyway, other than trim it out. So that's not going to happen. Rick, black 88 Mustang Coupe, black with gray interior, 5.0 5-speed. Okay. That would be a nice car. I like that. Black 88. I had a friend in high school. He had the 80. When he was a senior, his parents bought him a brand new Mustang. If I remember, he had like a 94 F-150 4x4 that he lifted like 6 or 8 inches and big tires under it. Had an 80, it was either an 84 or 85 Mustang GT. I think it was black and silver. Pretty cool car. But I still like the early 90s, Mustangs, the little Fox body ones. I like those a lot. But that's still 88 Mustang Coupe. That's cool. And it was a coupe. What year did they stop making the coupes? Because I know they went to the hatchback deal for a great period of time. Like, I don't even know if they made coupes after a certain period. I haven't kept up with that timeline to know for sure. Rick had that car for 15 years, sold it to a guy who brought it to Hawaii. Okay. Yeah, I have another friend locally, or well, he was local. He's moved back to Colorado. He had an 86, I think 86 Mustang GT that it was the blue with the silver. I think it's gorgeous. He gets offered money for it constantly, like big money, because the car's it looks mint. And of course he always turned it down. But it was a really sharp car. Don, we had a guy that was legendary pinstriper around PDX. I forgot his name, but he would embed risque stick figures into his work. Amazing hand. Yeah, that would be interesting. Gets everybody to really look at his work, right? What did he put in there? What's there? What's there? Kind of like hiding Iron Man somewhere, right? Rick, 1993 was the last year for the coupe. Okay. Well, it's funny. They went from, the coupe, I guess coupe hatchback was available, and then they did away with the coupe, made the hatchback up until, I don't know, who knows when. I don't know when they did that, because 2000, I know 5, I think it was 2005, they came out with the new body, and it was definitely a coupe. So I don't know. Well, I say that it had a roof line of kind of a fastback, but it was not a hatchback. Let's put it that way. Not a hatchback. Raleigh, when I was in high school, we had a guy in a Corvette that would show up where we hung out on Friday nights, and the vet had pinstripes all over it. He did a lot of our stuff out in the parking lot. Okay, that's cool. Probably use the Corvette as advertising. Say, I can do this, I can do that. What do you want? A mobile billboard. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Kenneth, have you ever had a difficult time threading on an oil filter? We dropped a 302 in a 66 Mustang last night and had to take the filter out and can't get the old one or new one on. You can't even get the old one back on? I'm not sure what's going on there. I mean, like, this car has that extender thing or something that comes out. You can thread the filter on. I think. I don't remember. I haven't looked at it in a while. But it feels like what you're saying is the threads are damaged on the male end. That would be my thought. If you can't get the old one to go back on or the new one to fit, yeah, that's not a good sign. You may end up digging deeper and having to take that part off and replacing it, or seeing what's going on there. But no, I haven't had that problem myself. Jeff, awesome, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's awesome. I will put a star on that one. That's awesome. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Okay, Ken says old or new will not fit. Okay, that is strange, especially if you just unthreaded it and can't even get the old one fit back on. That doesn't make sense. Oh, it's like it doesn't reach. That's kind of hard to visualize. Now, I can say that I have only one incident that I've had with a filter, and it was on my 07 Suburban. I bought a filter for an 07 Suburban and didn't realize that the engine was actually like a 2010. It was a newer engine, and they apparently had changed the filters. So I didn't bother checking it. I do my normal thing where I put some oil in the filter first, start threading it on, and this one would not thread. I was like, what's going on here? And so I ended up taking the old filter and verifying that it would fit, and then use my finger gauge to check the diameter, let's say. And I realized that the newer one had a smaller diameter female end. I was like, so I had to do some research, and that's when I found out that the 07, 08, somewhere in that transitional year, they changed the size of the filter, which doesn't make any sense. So I don't know what exactly may be going on with yours. Dawn pointed out is the old gasket stuck on the block. I mean, that's a possibility, but he's saying it won't reach. So is it like not? It's so hard to visualize with when you think of a filter and the threads and everything, it won't reach. But you said you tried the old filter that you took off and it won't go back on. So that's a tough question. That's a tough one. Let me see what we have. Okay. I got some other emails. I thought somebody sent me an email. But a gasket on the block would cause a problem, but I can't say that's exactly what's going on. What else was there? Was something else I was going to mention. I talked about my buddy having a new channel called Gas House. And I think the other one we talked about today was Low Boost Film or Low Boost Films. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. Raleigh, the center threaded section may have backed out. That's a good thought. Now that's curious because I haven't really looked at one of these. Does it have, for lack of a better term, is it like a piece of pipe thread where you have a threaded end on either end, or let's just say, did it unscrew, or is the filter trying to bite onto the threads at all? Is it making, at least gripping the threads? Because that's a good point, Raleigh. That's a good point. Assuming that it has that it could be that part can unthread. I don't know. Cool Store 187. Hi, all. Can listen but not watch. All the best from New Zealand. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're at least here to listen. Cool Store 187. Glad you're here. That's your shout out. Glad you're here. Dawn, maybe the adapter unscrewed from the block. That's what Raleigh was saying. So take a look at that. Take a look at that and see if the adapter came out of the block or came somewhat out of the block. Because, I mean, you would still think that it would turn in, but I don't know. Again, it's really hard to see without having, visualize. Kenneth, I checked the gasket came off. Okay, check the adapter, like Dawn's saying, and see if has come out of the block. Maybe there's something going on there. Marshall, Kenneth, do you have a tap and die set? I think I might try to clean the threads up and see what happens. Make sure you use the right die, though. Good luck. We could do that. Maybe you could do that. Crash Rider, was the old filter difficult to remove? That's a good question, too. So give us some more information, Kenneth. And Dawn says, send a pic. Yeah. If you want to, you can send me a picture on my email. If you have a picture available, you can send me a picture, and it's down at the bottom of the screen right there. You send me a picture, maybe we can help you out. Robert, most filters are 1/2 inch pipe thread. Yeah, most. I don't know what they are in a Mustang, honestly. Kenneth, the old filter came off by hand and also won't go back on. I really appreciate all the advice, guys. It is weird. So you're saying, now, Kenneth, is it starting at all, or will not even catch on the threads? Help us with that. And like I said, if you want to send me a picture, we can look at it. Maybe there's something we're all missing. Bob, 3 screws hold the track on the window, and the last screw won't come out. I don't know what to do. Now it looks like it needed the window track there. Okay, so you're talking about the 3 screws on the door glass. What I had to do, and I'm trying to remember how I did this, because I think I ended up replacing one of those. And what I mean is, I went ahead and drilled the center out of that one when it was stuck. Just drilled the head off, got the assembly out of there. Get the glass out. And then on the other side, once you get that track out, take a pair of vice grips, clamp onto it, and basically finish winding it through or unwinding it, whatever you want to do to get it out of there. Because I had to do that on one of them. And then I just found another screw and replaced it. Now, how hard is it to find one of those screws? I think I struggled to find one of those screws. I don't know. I don't know where I found one actually. I think I may have had an old door or something and I pulled it out. So consider that. If you need to, drill the head off. Don't try not to damage the threads, once you get it there. The other alternative, depending on which one it is, how much access you may have, is you could possibly put a pair of vice grips on the reach up behind, put a pair of vice grips on and try to break it loose, and then see if it'll turn out. So one of those may be an option. So, all right. So Kenneth says he'll send a pic. All right. Hopefully we can get that pretty soon. And he says it won't catch on the thread. That is really odd. That is really odd. I guess the other question, do you have like calipers? I mean, but the thing is, you said the filter came off and now it won't even start back on. It almost sounds like, I'm not saying it happened, but it's possible something hit it after it was exposed. The threads were exposed. Did it get something smacked the threads? That's what I mean, if it won't start, then there's definitely something going on with the threads. So see if I get a picture coming. But yeah, we'll see if we can help you. As far as anything else going on, the Hondas, I should have the hood and everything back on it today. I have to find the Honda emblem for the front. Goes in the grill piece. I thought I had maybe could use this one, but no. It's broke. No way I was going to be able to make that work. Because sometimes you could glue this stuff on, and I'll just have to get another one. Maybe they'll have it on Amazon. I don't know. Because some of the parts I actually got from Amazon. So it might be on there. I'll just have to look. Robert, I wonder if someone cross-threaded it in the past. That is a thought too, but usually if you cross-thread an oil filter, it's not going to seal. I mean, I would think, unless you just gorilla torque it and make sure that it crushes the gasket even at an angle, I would think that it would be leaking. I would think. But that's a good, that's a very good possibility. Okay, so the original question, have you ever had a difficult time to thread on an oil filter? We dropped a 302 into the Mustang last night, and I had to take filter out and get the old one, and can't get the old one on. Okay, so here's the thought. Because now I read that a little deeper. If you took the filter off to get the engine in, then those threads were exposed. It could have very easily hit something. So I'm leaning towards, if that's what I'm reading it as, I'm leaning towards the threads being damaged while you were putting it in, and you're going to have to do obviously something to fix that. Bob, another visit to the salvage yard. You got other things. Yeah, I might do that because I'm still debating on replacing the trunk lid. I'm still debating on replacing the trunk lid on the Honda. There's probably a 80 or 100 hail dings in it, hailstone dings. The average person probably doesn't care, just that I have a car to drive, right? And I look at it, I'm thinking, oh, could I just replace the whole deck lid with one that looks like it's the same color and be done with it? Because it just would look prettier. Yeah. But the roof probably has 100 dings in it, and I'm not doing anything with the roof. I can tell you that. Robert, I wish I could order a new vehicle with no factory installed badges or text. I hate advertising for the car companies without getting paid for it. That is a good point. I know on our personal vehicles, if we bought something that had a logo from a dealer, I would always take that off. Or I mean, I don't buy new cars anyway, but if I were to buy uh, a used one or something, I would tell them, remove that. I don't want that on the car. So, oh, just a sticker. No, it's not. Get it off. Take it away, or you take another $100 off. The price, because I'm not advertising for you. And they were like, fine. And if somebody had to come out with the eraser uh, wheel and remove those stickers, because I hate them too. I don't even like. There's a lot of times I don't like. Like I had a 91. I bought a 91 Chevy truck brand new. V6 5-speed, black, short bed, red interior. I love the truck. But it had on the tailgate the big chrome or like aluminum Chevrolet logo, right? Hold on. Kenneth, my email's at the bottom of the screen, joedaddysgarage@gmail.com. I don't know what your email is. I can't send you a request. But if you need to, just joedaddysgarage@gmail.com at the bottom of the screen. But the hold on. But the Chevy, big Chevrolet on the back of the truck, and I just didn't like it. I mean, I could handle a little Chevy or whatever, but that whole back of the tailgate was just I peeled that thing off, and I actually kept it for years. It was up on this wall for a period of time. I think I had it over there for a period of time, and then I finally, I mean, had it in here for a good 15, 20 years, and decided, why am I holding on to this? Pitched it, but it just makes the cars look smoother and cleaner. Dawn, I agree, including license plate frames. Yeah, I'm not a fan of any of that stuff. Now, if you go back, if it was a logo that was on a car from the 60s, those were kind of cool in a way. Like the Camaro that I have, it has a tail panel on it, and the car was green, and there's a faded white decal there from whatever dealership it was. And that's kind of cool because you think about the era, not like today where everything is chromed up and I mean, just like stickers and lettering and whatever they want to throw on there. But like that Camaro, other than having a little Camaro script on the side, and I think it had maybe Camaro in the top of the deck lid on the side. There really wasn't much else. And that old decal, whatever brand it was pretty cool. So if you had something that said like Yanko or something like that, that would be really cool to have. But all these new ones, I don't like them. Yeah, Kenneth, I don't know I don't know what I could do to send you an email. So, Raleigh, every time we took her car into the dealership for maintenance, they kept putting on a new dealer sticker. Would take it off as soon as she got it home. I wouldn't even let them put it on the car. I would have. I mean, that's one thing I would say. My wife, she knows if we ever go to like a car dealer or something like that, that I am not going to allow much of anything to happen. I would have said very, very specifically, do not put any logos on my car. If you do, I'm going to send you a bill for $100. Why not? You're going to pay the price. Maureen, my friend in Germany removes car badges for tax purposes. For tax purposes. How does that work? I don't know how that would work. Because I don't know how that, I mean, no matter what you do, it's still the same vehicle, but I don't know what the limitations are for the for tax purposes. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, Kenneth, I don't know if you were able to send me an email or not, but I think I'm going to call it a day. Like I said, I want to finish putting on the hood on the Honda. I've got some rearranging again stuff that I need to do, and try to get the car done and get it up for sale as soon as I can. So I'm still debating on the trunk lid though. I may have to just go get one just because. Not going to paint it, although I could. I'm not going to paint it, but if I find one at the junkyard of the same color, swap it out, clean it up, and be good to go. So, okay. I plan to be back on Monday at 7. We'll get back on here. If Kenneth sends me something about a picture or something, we'll look at it. But I'm going to say the threads were damaged putting the engine in the car. That's my opinion. I doubt it's anything to do with the filters. It has to be something with the end of the mount. So, but I'll be back on Monday at 7. Hope you all have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.